Okay. We'll get started a little bit early. Thank you everybody for joining us for our third session of the day. Today we'll be exploring AI powered music production. Again, use AI at your discretion. You know, we can use these tools to enhance. Also, you can do these without AI. And I know many of you are working with younger students, grades K through 3. The scope and sequence that we have, the resources that we have, all living documents, all will be modified. There are like offline activities on there that you can use with your younger students. I'll demonstrate some stuff. I want this to be as open and as casual as possible. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself, add it to the chat. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. So my name is Santi. Oh, yes, question?
Just a quick question. Is anything created by, with the program, because the DOE, is letting us have it, is letting us use it, giving us access to it? Do they own everything?
The DOE?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay. There's always fine print. So for example, let's say you could let your kids publish a video, right? And then they start sharing it around or something like that, but they use the DOE's program, right? Like, would it be considered some kind of, like, is it their property?
That's a very good question. I don't know if I have an accurate answer for that. What I have heard in the past, like anything that's like made within your DOE account or even your DOE machine, I guess technically is ownership of the Department of Ed, because it was using those resources. So yeah, I'm sure there's a department within Central that knows better than I do, but I don't know.
Okay, no worries. Thank you. Maybe I'll ask my principal or something, or somebody who. Yeah.
Are you thinking like if you make the next like Grammy award-winning song? Like,
something, right?
Viral or something. Yeah, like where
because I have sixth graders and they like to make videos and stuff like that. I was teaching them how to do slides, and they created things and they shared it with family. But if like something goes viral or whatever, I was just curious.
Yeah, that's a good question.
How that works.
I'll have to come back and get back to you on that.
Okay, thank you.
But that's a good question. Thank you for asking it.
No problem.
Thank you everybody for joining us. We'll be going over music production today. So my name is Santi. I started a company called Project Recess. We help schools use ed tech tools for teaching and learning. But let's get into a fun question. Feel free to put in the chat, what is one of your favorite songs? I have some famous albums here: Abbey Road, Thriller, Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. What is one of your favorite songs? Could be anything. Could be a newer song that you've heard recently. Hey Jude, thank you. Oh, related to the Beatles here. At Last, thank you so much. Oh, classic one. I'm a big fan of Living for the Love of You by the Isley Brothers. Love that one. Thank you, everybody. Feel free to put in the chat if you feel inclined. Asking this because when you're talking about music, we want that to want us to be in the right mindset. So, I'm glad that question was asked earlier about like ownership and everything. So when we were designing this curriculum, we're trying to like think of like what is the quote best platform to use with our students of any age to ensure that safety is adhered, and also they're just like making it an easy, seamless experience. I know it's summer school. I know there's a lot going on, and we wanted to design our curriculum to be, use piecemeal. If you wanted to, you don't have to do the whole thing, just pick and choose. And so we decided to go with Chrome Music Lab. Thumbs up if anybody's ever used that before. This has been around for a few years, and it's pretty interesting. So it's made by the Google team, all online, doesn't collect any data, and like super easy barrier to entry in terms of using it. And so we'll today, I want this to be fun. We'll talk about what we can do with it, how we can use it. So that being said, Chrome Music Lab. And I do want to share, so this is the resource website. If you were with us with the first session we did this morning and some people were having problems getting to the website, that should be all taken care of. Everybody should have access to it now. So I'm going to put the link to this website in the chat. So this is our landing page. This has the scope and sequence on there. Again, these are all living documents. Depending on your feedback, depending on the requests that we get, we'll update this. We'll add more resources if you need it. We want to make sure this works well for you as summarizing participants. And so as you can see here, we got the 22, it says 22 week, it's actually 22 day. We'll edit that. But this is the 22-day scope and sequence in regards to how you can use these various tools within Chrome Music Lab and the different sort of like ideas. So focusing on rhythm, focusing on, what kind of beat, what a particular animal make. And again, we did weave in some AI aspects in here, but again, like use that at your discretion. Like some of the tools that we're going to use, that I'm going to offer, inherently use AI to make beats. You can also use AI as a tool to brainstorm, or you can just make music the old-fashioned way and just experiment with it. It's really up to your discretion. You have all of the options on there. So that being said, if I switch back to the slide deck here, so I just shared with everybody the link to our. Actually, I'm gonna pin that for the new folks that are joining us now. If you're just joining us, thank you for coming. Again, this is AI-powered music production. I just shared in the chat the link to our landing page. And as I was mentioning earlier, I do want us to focus on Chrome Music Lab. And so for the next, it's going to be less than an hour. So, but for the time that we have here, we're just going to experiment with these tools. And we did talk about Google Vids in the first session. I think there's options there to work with music also. So Chrome Music Lab. Name that tune. I'm gonna switch to this tab. This is a little thing that I made using SongMaker. You definitely know this tune if you have children under the age of 5. All right, I'm gonna play it. One, did you hear that audio? Thumbs up if you heard it, or someone let me know if you've heard it. Thank you so much. And next, does anyone know what song that is? So, Craig, yes, I have 2 children, age 3 and 5, and Bluey's on all the time. So yes, that was a Bluey theme song. Props to everyone that knew that. I as an adult man, I am a huge fan of Bluey. Greatest TV show in the past decade for sure. But that was done using this thing called SongMaker. Again, what I like about this, and I'm going to put a link to Chrome Music Lab in the chat. So this is Chrome Music Lab. I'm going to put it in the chat. Welcome to the club. Happy to be here, man. If you want to experiment, this is cool. So Chrome Music Lab, again, made with Google and musicians and computer scientists to create these music experiments that are, you don't need an account to sign in. You really just like need a computer, you open it up and you can start experimenting with it. You have a bunch of different sound experiments here. I'm going to go over what some of them are, but as you can see, there's a lot of things here to just have fun, just play with. All ages, there's no age restriction to this. Another reason why we wanted to offer this as the platform to test this out. So that Bluey theme was made using SongMaker. So again, we have the scope and sequence that we shared with everyone, exploring different themes. You can take those themes out of order, out of sequence whenever you want to. And this is essentially how SongMaker works. I don't have a music background, so this is all new to me. And I think the user interface is pretty easy to get into. So how does this work? You go in SongMaker, you have that sound effect, hi-hat, I believe. And then you have your kick drum. Okay, so you essentially have your drum machine down here, and you can just actually hold on one second. I want to try to mimic that Bluey thing from scratch. And if you want to do it along with me, feel free. So right now we're just going over how to use SongMaker. So the first thing I did, or that the tutorial that I linked in our scope and sequence to make the Bluey theme song, there's a settings wheel down here. If you click on that, you have a bunch of different settings that you can modify. So again, if you're not music minded, it's okay. This is all just testing out. I think it was high E, the tutorial of the Bluey theme song. So again, that was settings. I'm changing this to high E, and then we can add some drums in there. So a dot here, a hi-hat here. So now you can test it out. You just hit play. Okay. Oh, and the tempo, right now it's 120. You can use the slider. Tempo is slower if it's a smaller number. Higher tempo, faster. Okay. I believe for the Bluey theme song, the tutorial that we had in there, 175, I believe. Okay. So it's a drum machine. These are all beats. You want to be repetitive. And I do want to call out this. If you look at this screen, you have this area here. I don't know if you can see my, okay. This area here that's white, and then this area here that's kind of gray. Another area here that's white, and another area here that's gray. All right. So I guess like these are the, I don't have a music background, so but these are the like the different, I guess like ways you can affect the tempo, the different counts for your music. All right. So if we wanted to go back, I'm just looking at the notes here for the theme song. So again, you just kick, hi-hat, and then now when we move into the gray area, you just continue. All right. So if you wanted to test it out, feel free. And then I think this one, it skips one here. All right, so what does that sound like? This is actually fun, and when you're checking this out. So I'm just looking at a key. We're gonna link in this scope and sequence. Like there's a really great like musician on YouTube that makes a bunch of songs on Songmaker. We're taking those lessons, linking to their videos, but also integrating it with our curriculum. These are opportunities for your students to just test out and play with these, play with these music instruments here. All right, I think I have it. Let's see what this sounds like. Hey, sounds good. Sounds good. And what's interesting about these squares here, again, if you're playing along, feel free, but these are your different notes. They're in different colors for different keys. I think for the Bluey one, it started with blue. That was not planned, but it makes sense. So starting with this one down, okay. Let's listen to it. Okay, all right. So you have that in one of the lessons that we have. We'll explore how to do the Bluey theme song. So what's nice about this is it's a different approach to making music. And if you don't know how to read notes, that's fine. I don't know how to read notes, so it's a lot of just like pattern recognition, looking at what the image looks like, and then just matching it with the colors. So I found it pretty easy. Just like mimicking these. Okay, so it's really just color matching. Easy if you're working with like younger students. So again, I'm just trying to figure out the placement of all this. All right. Okay, let's see what this sounds like. and then you just repeat. Okay, so it's great if your students have headphones. So you don't have a cacophony of Bluey. So we're just matching these with those. Okay, I think I got it. Let's see. So Bluey theme song, again, greatest show of all time. What's interesting also is that you can change the type of sounds that you have. So right now it's marimba and electronic, but we can change this. Blocks. Okay, so that was for the drums. So you have different drums here. You have your blocks, your drum kit, conga, and back to your electronic drums. And then what we're hearing is the marimba for that, and that can be changed as well. Okay, so you have a bunch of different options. Again, what I love about this is like it's just so easy to get into and just start using. And I think we're just gonna add more. Like, again, the scope and sequence. It's a living document. Like, I personally was having a lot of fun just like recreating the song. And perhaps I think we're just gonna add more to the curriculum of like just different songs to make. So again, understand summer can get crazy. You want to choose, the enrichment project, piecemeal. Maybe you can choose a different song on a certain day. If anybody has any questions, feel free to unmute or add them to the chat. But yeah, there's a bunch of different songs we can add on there. And again, one of the big questions that we're receiving is, how does this work with like the younger students, grades K to 3? I mean, they can play around with this also in terms of thinking about an offline activity. I can see, students like suggesting what beats to make, and then the teacher clicking on it on the board. Like that's an option that's on the scope and sequence as well. So there's different modifications that you can have on there. But of course, what's nice about this is that it's not collecting any data. Even like saving it is interesting. So I'll get into how that works also. You have the undo button, which is great. You have the save button here. So if I click this save button, again, I am not signed in with any account. I'm just going to a website where it's allowing me to play with these tools. But this particular song session, I'm going to copy that link, and then I'll put it in the chat if you wanted to see what that looks like, or if you wanted to remix it. I believe you have an option to remix what that looks like. And then look, this is pretty cool also. You can download this song as a WAV file or a MIDI file, which is another type of audio file. I think WAV is more accepted in terms of like, if you wanted to put it in, let's say Google Vids, we'll try that, which is the new Google video editing tool that we went over. I'll go over it again. And then you can embed this code somewhere, which is interesting. So what does that look like? So I'm going to copy this embed code. I'm going to open up a new tab. And then if anybody has used Google Sites before, the OG, it's been around for a long time, our landing pages are made in Google Sites. So I just copied that embed code. If I double click in this white area, there's something here that says embed, and I can paste the code in there. I've not done this before. I love, doing things live, seeing what happens. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's awesome. So that's pretty cool. So you have the code in here, and you can put it on a Google site. What does this even look like when you publish it? Louis demo. I'm just curious to see what this looks like. All right, view published site. Okay, so I just copied that code that we made in Google Chrome Music Lab, and I embedded it in this Google site that you could share with your students. That's pretty cool. Again, I've not done that before. So as you can see, that's a pretty easy way to share these works. So if your students are making their own, soundtracks based on a theme, based on, even the curriculum that you're working on, maybe you're working on an ELA project and you want to, build a soundtrack, you can do this. A Google site could be a great way to just house all those projects. You can create a Google site for your class, have a different page for each student, and they would put it in there. This is cool. It like links to the song maker. If I click on that, it brought me to here. So that's pretty cool. You can go ahead and modify this and share this however you want. So let me switch back here. So those are your saving options. And again, if you wanted to download this as a WAV file, you could. So again, after you make your creation, you're happy with it, you can click save, and then you can download the WAV file. So I just downloaded that. We'll see we'll see if we can embed that into Google Vids later on. So yeah, SongMaker is pretty neat. It's I just love how easy it is to use. There's a microphone in here. What does this do? Hello. Hello, 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 hello. I guess it allows you to record your voice. Hello, 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 everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I'm not exactly sure how that one works. We'll revisit that and we'll make sure to add that into the curriculum, but that's interesting. You can add your voice in there. Pretty neat. Any questions on that? As you can see, we're able to recreate the Bluey theme song pretty quickly. We'll include other songs that students can make also. And again, pretty simple to do that. So let me, yeah, if anybody has any questions, feel free to let me know. This is a pretty interesting tool also. So I'm switching back to my slide deck. So this is one of the other options in Chrome Music Lab. It's called Kandinsky. So Kandinsky, Wassily Kandinsky was an artist who compared painting to making music. So this particular experiment turns anything you draw, lines, circles, triangles, and scribbles into sound. So this one's pretty cool too. I feel like younger students would get a kick out of this. So let me, I'm back in the SongMaker. I'm gonna click this back button. Yes, I'm sure, to go back to the Chrome Music Lab webpage or homepage actually. And so you have a bunch of different things here, but I'm gonna go into Kandinsky. So if I click on this, it's gonna open. And this is pretty neat. So if you have a touch screen, I think it's better. I don't have a touch screen, but I'm just using the mouse to drag, but I can draw, I can draw shapes. And this, it's using AI to associate sound with it. So when we say we're using AI for things, the past 2 years when we talk about AI, it seems many people are talking about generative AI such as ChatGPT, etc. But the truth is we've been using AI for much longer than that. AI is built into your Google Maps or your Apple Maps or your Spotify recommendations or like your photo apps. Like AI is built into many of the things that we use and have been using for a long time. So similar to this, AI is being used for this particular platform behind the scenes, which actually I think for little kids, I think makes, it's safer, and I think it makes more sense if you're going to integrate AI with younger learners like in this way, where they are not necessarily interacting with like a ChatGPT type thing, but instead they're creating something. Okay, so Kandinsky, this is pretty cool. Again, there are different themes on the scope and sequence where you can use this. Maybe a student can describe how they feel. Maybe they can describe how a character feels in a book. The possibilities are endless, but as you can see, you can just draw these and then you can change the colors and then you can hit play. So that's pretty interesting. So again, I could see after a long day of summarizing, you wanted to do something, choose an enrichment option where the kids are just getting creative. They can do something like this. All right. So that's Kandinsky. Thank you. Thank you for the heart. That one's pretty fun. I like that one a lot. So back to the slide deck. This one's pretty interesting too, rhythm. So rhythms are patterns of sound and time. For this particular screenshot, it's going over percussion. The most common rhythms repeat every 4 beats. It can also 3, 5, 6 or more. This is cool because you can click and just experiment with it. So again, what does that look like? So if we go back to Chrome Music Lab, and again, if you wanted to test this out, the link is in the chat. I'll pin that just in case. So if we click on rhythm, and I just hit, let's say I don't do anything, I just hit play. Okay. Now, similar to the song make. So if you look at the colors, these dots are orange, that corresponds to this drum, and these dots are yellow, correspond, yeah, kind of maybe light orange, dark yellow, compared to this this drum also. And then you have the triangle right over there. So again, it's an exercise in rhythm and creating your own beats. Yeah. Definitely recommend headphones for that one. As you can see, there's an arrow right over here. So if you click on that, new friends. So again, orange circles, orange drum. This one, that's a hi-hat or the snare. Okay, and then you have your hi-hat there. Okay, so again, this is what's cool about that. It's not saving anything really. You don't even need to make an account. Okay, you just open it up and start experimenting with it. So you have this one. Okay. And even the animations, I think, lend itself to have younger students working with them. And this is the last set right here. Very cool. So that's rhythm. We have some exercise. I think the first unit in our scope and sequence explores rhythm. Again, you can stick with it. You can just give your students this and they can just explore. We want to make it as flexible as possible. Any questions, please feel free to add them in the chat or unmute yourself. Back to the slide deck. So this is really interesting. So this is what I just showed you before was Chrome Music Lab. Doesn't save any information. Any age can use it. It's good for everybody. This right here, Music FX, this is technically, you need to be 18 and up to use it. Okay, so if you want to adhere to the rules, just keep that in mind. You need to be 18 and up to use it. You do have access to this with your DOE account. It's just a website. In terms of music collection or like data collection, I think since this is an AI project, I think there are people that are reviewing the music and the songs that come out of this. And so I think because of that, there's like some privacy issues. That's why they want users to be 18. And the reason why I'm showing this, I think this thing's really cool. Let me just demonstrate it for you, okay? Whoops. So Music FX. Okay, Music. I don't know how to type. Music FX. Music FX, I just Googled it. It is, it's part of these Google AI labs. And man, there's like so many interesting AI lab experiments that they have. Again, unfortunately, like you need to be 18 and up, so your students aren't really using this. But I think it's worth sharing because it's just interesting what this can do. And you could, as a teacher, you could have this projected on your screen. All right, enough talking. What does this look like? Music FX. If I click on these options down here, soothing, jazz, soul, it's going to generate a song for that. I'm going to hit play. It's using AI. This time it's generative AI using those 3 prompts. And then we should be able to hear it in a second. Of course, it's taking longer than it's done before because we're doing a live session. While it's generating, what are some use cases for this? Again, technically you have to be 18 and up to use it. So the instructor can have this up on the board. You could have conversations with your students about, that sounds pretty smooth. I'll play it again. So this is true AI generated music, which is, kind of scary. Like that sounds pretty good just from these 3 prompts. And so it made 3 tracks. What does this one sound like? Slightly different. And here's a third one. So you can download this, you can copy this link and share it, or we can give it a brand new prompt. All right, so it could be, walking through a forest. Does it have 1 R too? Sorry, I'm a bad speller. Let's see what happens when I hit generate. So it's still okay. it takes some time. It's making the songs, but this is a very interesting way to integrate like true AI generated music, getting understanding of what it sounds like. You could have your students listen to it. They can tell you prompts to put in there, and you all can listen to it together. So this is more of like collaborative in regards to like the whole class talking about it while the teacher. Actually, it doesn't sound bad. I'm going to download that and see what it sounds like. So that's downloading as a WAV file also, which again, you could essentially like put into Google Vids if you wanted to. So this is Music Effects. I'm going to put this link in the chat if you wanted to experiment. And there are other AI music labs or like AI labs that you could use also. Like it's really interesting, but like you do have to be 18 and up to use it. But I mean, just you as a professional in education, just like learning how like these tools are being affected by AI, how it works. I think it's good to just be in the know of how these work. There's also like a music effects DJ where you have this. So if I hit play, you can add or remove different, all live. So whatever you change here, like it's being generated in real time. So that's pretty interesting in terms of AI generated music in that respect. Okay. Going back to the slide deck. So that was Music Effects. I was showing you all Chrome Music, Music Lab. And then next, again, if you were with us with the first session that we did, Google Vids. So if this is brand new to you, Google Vids. Google Vids is it's Google's new video editing tool. It was released to every teacher in New York City a few months ago, so it's brand new. Many teachers don't even know that you have access to this. You can get to Google Vids by opening up a new tab. Ensure that you are in your @schools account. You can go to vids.google.com, or you can be in Google Drive and go to Drive New Vids. I'll demonstrate what that looks like. But once you get there, you can make storyboards. You can do voiceovers. I actually did not go over that during the last session. Maybe I'll do that now. And then you have a robust library of royalty-free images, video clips, sound effects, songs, music, all in there. And so students have access to this too. Teachers definitely do. It's a really interesting tool. So I'm going to switch to this tab. I'll do it from my Google Drive, but you could go to vids.google.com, or you could be in your Drive, new Vids, and then you have different options. You can record yourself, kind of like a screen recording, upload an existing video that maybe you took on your computer, maybe you used on your phone. You can upload that. There's actually a lot of really great templates. Actually, let me click on the templates. There are some really cool templates here. This is a really great welcome back to school template that you can use. But all these are really cool templates. But I'm going to start blank, okay? So I actually downloaded, let's see if this works. I downloaded one of the AI songs that we created. So insert, upload, here we go. Walking through a forest. Oh, actually, is this the Bluey one? we got to bring it back to Bluey. Let me see. All right, so this was the song that we made in Chrome Music Lab, the Bluey theme song. We had an option to download it as a WAV file, so you could do that on your device. You're able to put it in Google Vids. If I wanted visuals with that, as one of the participants in the first session said, you can have your students draw something, right? Like, again, if your students are young, or if you just don't want your students on a device, you can all just draw something. You can scan it if you have a scanner. You can take a picture of it if you're able to, put it on your computer via email, Google Drive, what have you, or you can go to the integrated stock footage here. All right, so I just clicked on stock. Oh, I'm sorry, you don't see my screen. Whoops. I'm going to start over again. Sorry about that. That's what happens when you have so many tabs. I'm going to start from the very beginning. Apologies. All right. So I'm here in my Google Vid. One of these rectangles here is called a scene. All right. Similar to in Google Slides, you have just a blank slide. So I went to File, Upload. Was it Open? I'm sorry. Okay, File. Oh, I'm sorry. Insert, Upload. And then this was the Bluey file here. So it just opened it up. Okay, and then you can move this to the beginning of the playhead. So let me test it out one more time. Oops. Okay, and then so as I was saying earlier, you can go to where it says stock right over here, and then you can search for something. Blue dog. Let's see what shows up. And so these are, you have your stock images here. You have different stickers here. Oh, here's the original blue dog, Blue from Blue's Clues. Oh, hold up. There it is right there. Okay, so it brought it in twice. So these are all images that are apparently royalty free, fair use, right? So let's say I have this and you can add text in there. Let's say you want to insert text. What's cool is that you can add regular text, or you can include, you know, sort of like this fun stuff here. These are all pretty fun. So I can do this. I can say, let's do this. Okay. And so there you have like your little music playing over this right over here. Okay. And I think you can animate this as well. So animation, if you highlight on that, loop, photo effect, scale. Okay. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Let me do that one more time. So if you were to add text in there, so you just added text, you can choose one of these different headlines. That's what it's called, headlines. And then if you click on it, you see these, it's this, the animation logo or icon, which is like these 3 circles. You click on that, and then you have these different animations, and then you can see what, like a preview of what they do. It's pretty interesting. Okay. Let's say I like that one. All right. So again, like this is the beauty of using Google Vids. Like it deals with like motion and graphics. And then now we have audio in there from our AI generated music. So I hit play. All right. So what's interesting is that you can take the scope and sequence from the music production. You can mix and match it with the AI comics and visual storytelling. You can mix and match those. A lot of these tools integrate with each other. So there's a lot you can do with these tools that are free, that are safe, with the exception of that 18 and up one, the Music FX. Only instructors, teachers should be using that one. But all the other ones are safe to use, IRMA approved, etc. Google Vids, incredibly powerful tool that you all have access to. And that's it. That's pretty much it. So these, again, we just wanted this to be super accessible, super fun, to make music. And that's it. Does anybody have any questions about this? Any of the tools that we went over? Okay. I'm going to put some links in the chat. I'm going to be around here if you have any questions. If you could take a minute, please. I'm going to put the feedback link in the chat. Here we go. So there's the feedback Google form. Should take a minute or two to fill out. This session today is AI powered music production. It's the first one on there. All right. So if you're doing this, the one that we were just on, or the session that we did just now, AI powered music production. And then lastly, if you need an hour of CTLE, I'm going to put that in the chat as well. Here we go, CTLE hours. There we go. So they're there. The links to the feedback, the links to the CTLE hours. If you were with us from the beginning, thank you so much. I appreciate you being with us. And hopefully your students and your teachers find this interesting. Again, we'll be continuing to improve and add to our scope and sequence depending on your feedback. So feel free to send me an email, drop us a line, let me know what's working, let me know what's not working. Oh, and we will have weekly office hours, but you do have to just give us a heads up if you want us to meet with you. So they're once a week on Thursdays, I believe. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can pull up the website for that. But yeah, there are office hours here. Okay, I'm sharing this tab now. 1 second, everybody. Okay, so this is on the computer science website, but I'll put this on our other 2 resources also. So yes, if you would like support just like this, virtual support, 30 minutes, 12:30 to 1. If there's a better time that works for you, we can try to be flexible also. But please, if you want to meet with us for office hours, if you want a little bit more support on any of the things that we went over, the AI comics, the music, the computer science, just fill out this form. It'll let us know that people are interested in meeting. So these are the Thursdays that we're available. Again, if that doesn't work, drop us a line. We can work something out. But thank you everybody for joining us today. Again, Oni, thank you for joining us for 3 hours. I appreciate that. And yes, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you. I'll hang out here if anybody has any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Could you put the link to that last part, that last one, the form for
The hours?
office hours? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Now I could just bookmark it that way.
Oh yeah,
I don't
yeah.
have to go looking for it later.
Mark.
Thank you so much.
Yes. No, thank you. It should be right there.
Yeah, I see it. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. If you attended an earlier training but you didn't get the CTLE, just fill out the CTLE form once again, and then just do it for the previous session. So I just put the CTLE form back in the chat. So yeah, if you missed it in the past, just do it one more time. Here, I'll share my screen. CTLE request form. Okay. Yeah, so you can just fill it out again, and then you would put in the address is virtual. Oh, yes, go ahead.
Sorry, do you know when we get the email for the CTLE?
It should be immediate. And like, did you not
I
get
did it before for the previous 2. I haven't gotten anything yet.
Okay. If it doesn't, typically that happens if like if the email address was not put in correctly. Let me check right now. If you can wait a second. Let me check right now. Kevin, right?
Yeah, I don't think any of I'm with a couple other teachers. I don't
Oh,
think
really?
they got it either.
Interesting. Okay, let me check. Let me check right now.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Let me check right now because it's on an automated like system. So like right after you submit it, you should be able to get it in your email. But sometimes these things break. Let me see. Kevin, I see your name in here. At schools.nyc.gov. It's in there correctly. It said it was sent. You didn't receive it from me?
I don't have anything. I'm looking at my inbox right. Oh, am I on mute? Nope. Sorry. I'm looking at my inbox. I don't have anything yet for any. I did the cartoon one, and then the what was the previous one? The raspberry.
Oh yeah, the computer science. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you.
It's all good, man. That's it. I have it on here. You know what? I'm gonna. Oh, wait a minute. I see your name. Okay. All right. I'll double check this. But you should be. Yeah, you should be receiving it. What time is it right now? Okay. Let me see if I can fix this right now. It says it was sent. It was there. All right, I'll work on this. Okay, and if you still did not receive your CTLE hours in like a day or two, send me an email, and then I'll look into it. But I'll take a look at this right now and make sure that this was sent to everybody. I'll put my email in the chat. Santiago.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you. Yeah. So if you don't get it in the next 2 days, let me know, and I'll figure out another way to do it. But yeah,
All right. Cool.
I'll look at the system. Okay.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Thank you. Anyone else? Any other questions? Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will share the recording out with everyone. Actually, I'll stop the recording right now. Stop recording. Okay, good.